This is Pink Talks, the place where we discuss intersectionality and human rights.
So, hello everybody. We are here today for another Pink Talks book club, and today is going to be very special because it's going to be on poetry. And I'm here with Anna Caterina. Hello.
Hi.
Emilia. Hello,
Hello.
Emilia. And that's me. We might start with introducing ourselves. Emilia, do you want to start?
I'm Emilia. I'm from Finland, and I'm super excited to have this discussion with everyone today. I think it's going to be super, super great. So thanks for having me, and I hope everyone enjoys.
Thank you.
So, hi, I'm Catarina. I'm from Portugal. And today we are going to talk about one of my favorite poets. So, yeah, I'm also excited about talking about this poem.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I'm Deborah. I'm also super excited today. I'm from Italy, and but I'm in Portugal right now, so it's super nice to be back. And well, today we're gonna talk about this incredible, like one of a kind writers. She's Maya Angelou, and I don't know if she's very, very famous. And honestly, like I got to know her not long time ago. It was like 2 years. It was past her death. But it's I that straight away, like I fell in love with her because like it is like this incredible character, this incredible inspiring woman that really, really can teach so much, even if she's not here anymore. And this is also the power of literature and books, I think. So she is like a very famous writer, activist, and many, many things. She was like super strong, no? Like she had a lot of different jobs. She was in many different career paths, dancing, actressing, and so on. And she's like she's famous for her autobiography collection of 7 books, if I'm not wrong. And actually, like with poetry, it was something a bit different because, like, from a literature point of view, she was best known for the autobiographies, but she was also like a very successful poet, even if her poetry was a bit left aside, no, from the literature, as upon the main focus was on the autobiographies. And today we're gonna talk about this poem that is in a collection of poems of Maya Angelou, and it's called, the collection is And Still I Rise. It's from 1978, and the poem is called Phenomenal Woman. And I would leave the floor to anybody that want to talk about the poem.
So for me, the first time that I've read this poem, something like sparked inside of me because she describes beautifully what it is to be a woman, the interior strength that we carry on ourselves to the exterior. So it was like the first time that I read a poem written by a woman that translated this nature about women, not only like the most sensitive but also strong points of view of women to the exterior. So it was not like the first poem that I read about her, but I started with her autobiography. I know like the works of Maya Angelou about from 10 years now, and search that I was beginning to read more about works from women, but also non-white women. So she was like a wonderful discovery. So yeah, with Phenomenal Woman, the when I read it, it was like this. Oh Jesus, she embodies in this poem the feminine nature. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. And it's such a powerful message as well of like kind of oozing with confidence and how it's so important to also put the emphasis and focus on that so much and kind of open up the very narrow view of the feminine, like you said. It's super, super lovely and super refreshing and with such like such grace at the same time, but still super, super powerfully. It's yeah. I remember also the first time I read it, I was like moved by it quite a bit. So
Yes, it's incredible, no? The words that she uses, they are like super straightforward. Like they are that. It's there is no place for misunderstandings or misinterpretations. Like it is just like what she says, and you can interpret that. And of course, like there are millions of interpretations, but I have the feeling that with these particular choice of saying words, just evocating like images, it's actually very clear what the message is. And also like the fact that she uses like the word phenomenal, no, like if being a woman would be like a phenomenon actually, no, like I was really like thinking about that, like the word phenomenal as well it is. And I had like this very strong feeling of like the word like phenomenon, it's like something that actually then it transpires in the poem if you read it, because like it she describes different like part of bodies, different way of acting or behaviors, that it's like it does make like it does get the feeling as it would be like describing a phenomenon. uh, I think like that was wonderful. At least like that is how it got to me. I don't know if for you it was like kind of the same.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I think I like the fact that she begins with the in the second sentence that she recognizes that she is not built as a fashion model, so she is beyond the beauty standards of what beauty should be. But she in the poem she describes that it's in her nature, and that's in it is her nature that captivates other people about her. So I think that the phenomenal, it's that nature, that specific nature that she talks about, that it's beyond the perfect body or the perfect face. It's something that it's innate, it's inward. So yeah, I think that she the choice her choice of the word phenomenal, I think it's about that inner strength.
Yeah, totally agree. And at the same time, like also mentioned this fashion model and cute face, like you said, it's something that she also, I feel like in this poems twists around. Like Anna was also mentioning of saying like it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth and the swing of my waist, which is like the beauty is the passion, it's the self-acceptance, it's the poise at your feet when you're walking. And like Deborah, you said, it's like it's the phenomenon of asserting yourself and not being part of this very rigid and kind of arbitrary kind of social construction of what beauty should be, which is also very white and it's created to fit a certain body, a certain person, and it's not how it should be. So I agree on that as well, that it's much more, it's a phenomenon, and she makes a point in that.
Yes, also because it's not like you can see that it's something that she's describing somebody that is actually alive, no? That is more of like a way of being than a description of like, I don't know, like I have pretty lips and big eyes, no? Like she says like the joy of her, I don't remember, was like the joy of her walking, the sun of my smile, you know, like it's the grace of my style, like it's something like very alive, that it's something that is acting actually in the world. And that's, I think that is also like the strength in the poem, because it's very like it transutes strength and dignity also, no? Like she's talking about like something that is like something that is very strong, and like it has this feeling of like wow, that's how a woman is, or like you can really like see her interacting, this woman that she's describing, like interacting with somebody, you can really imagine it. So I think that is also like beautiful um to get, no, from the poem. And then also like the way in which she says like a phenomenal woman, like that's me, and like this celebration, no, of the woman she is, and how you said, Emilia, like the self-acceptance that you can read towards, no, the poem. It's incredible, it's super inspiring, and also super motivating, no, for somebody that it gives you the idea that is somebody that has done like a real path, like uh, a meaningful one, and then uh, she's giving back something, no, of like what she got.
Yeah. I think that's a thing that it's refreshing for me. It's saying that normally we are used to seeing women portrayed in poetry by the male gaze. So normally we are the women, they are put in a pedestal. They are like described as these beautiful creatures with the beauty standards of the different eras. And in this sense, it was written by a woman. She describes this woman that is not like perfect, but she's also beautiful. The way that she describes, it's beautiful because of that self acceptance that Emilia talked about. That celebration that she made of herself. Because at the end of the poem, as you said, Deborah, she she uh, she says that this woman, it's me. I'm the woman. But if any of us reads this poem, I think that we all can see ourselves in the poem. So I think that she has this greatness about her, that she can transform her specific experience and that its experience can be related to all women. So yeah, so
Yeah, agreed. And also how, also towards the end of the poem, where she kind of asserts herself, saying like, I don't need to jump about, or I don't have to shout, and you see now why I don't bow my head. It's also showing that she isn't ashamed, and she doesn't have this shame of being her full, or being comfortable and confident in her full womanhood in a society that probably does not expect her to be, or shouldn't, or normally wouldn't allow her to be so confident because of the models and standards that she doesn't fit in, so to speak, which is just also very nice, and giving this kind of this, yeah, powerful statement of that there's nothing to be ashamed in being a phenomenal woman. That is a act of living and showing your full humanity. So it's super refreshing indeed.
Yes, that's actually like my favorite part of the poem, when she says, like, when she's stating, no, now you understand just why my head is not bowed, and the verse that you cited before, it's like, that's like the dignity, no, that I see in the that she puts inside this poem. Like, I'm like, you should be proud of me when I'm passing, because like, this is because of all these reasons I am how I feel. It's like this, and I'm one woman, and it's phenomenal. And I think it's like, it gives you like a super strong meaning, also, like, for the fact that, like, as Katarina was saying before, no, the fact that women are always portrayed by men as like, basically, like, I don't know, this beautiful
object almost,
yes, a doll, no, that like, she's like,
or really fragile. So
Mm-mm.
this woman that she describes, she's not a fragile creature.
Mm-hmm.
She, as Emilia said, she asserts herself. She walks in the world. So yeah. Sorry for interrupting you.
no, but it's actually like this, like, she's present, she's there, and she has a soul, and she has like a character, actually, no, she's not like something like made out of ceramic that is not feeling emotions and is just there to be watched.
Mm-hmm. And still being able to be vulnerable at the same time, like being vulnerable and assertive at the same time, like when she is kind of saying that, well, this is what I should be, but I am not. It's still a very vulnerable place where it comes from, of saying like, well, I've probably struggled with this, and this might be a painful spot, but I have my dignity and I'm proud, and this is what I am. I'm a phenomenal woman. So also, yeah, this kind of vulnerability but not fragility is super nice as well. Yeah.
Yes, it's like, I think it's a part of the recognition of the self, no, it's while you are strong in, like, being vulnerable doesn't mean that you're not strong, no, like, it's that, to accept that you have also a part that is vulnerable, that is sensible, no, in a way, it's sensitive in a way, it's something that actually, like, takes a lot of courage, I think. And I think that also, like, this poem, like, if you really read it, like, I can really, like, feel it a bit as mine, no, like, I find in the poem a lot of meaningful verse, no, or words that, like, inspire me, or that, like, I can, like, uh, feel like mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's especially like was mentioned already, this kind of like, it applies to a lot of women regardless. Like it's something that is very relatable because everyone can kind of um, relate to the struggle of the creative beauty standards, the objectification, the not being seen as this full woman that you are, this phenomenal woman. So yeah, I think being able to, or like it's easy to relate to in that sense that you can, even if you don't know the full struggle, you can see bits and pieces that also feel like your own. So that makes it also, I think, so powerful, like you said.
Yes, and also like it's very very present, no? Like it's I think like it's applicable also throughout time. So like well, that's also like the beauty, you know, of it. It's like you can read it like several times and always find a different meaning or something that you probably didn't notice before, but because like you might actually not change or modify yourself a bit, and so like you would read into it something else or like a different meaning. And also the fact that like you can read it like, well, she wrote it like in 78 in the States, but well, this is like 2022 and it's still like we're still talking about those stuff. Well, and also like there was a change, no, in history, like about like also like feminist movements and stuff, but it's still super real actually, no. So this is also something that it's like I read it and then I was like, okay, this poem was written by this woman, like I cannot make the counts right now, but like many years ago. And like now I am reading it and it's like it's super super real and actual also, like nowadays, right? Because she's also like referring and it's like the modern stuff, and we know now how the image um was criticized, no, in the throughout this period. So it's actually also very impressive, no, this fact. Like to me, it really impressed me.
Even more for her because she never complied to the beauty standards of the time. She was like, I think that it's in her autobiography that she talks about she's like a tall a black woman with an afro head. If you see some of her pictures when she's younger, she's really tall, really slim. So she when I think that was when she was dancing, she had like a natural hair. So it's still not something. It's still something that black women have to fight for example in the workplace, for the acceptance of her for of their hair. So I think that she embodies all of this. And for me as a white woman, that I do not comply with the beauty standards. So even more for me, I see, I feel seen with her words from this poem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's wow, incredible. You know, like for the body standards, no? Like I was having like a chat, it was this week, with a friend of mine. She's from Chile, and she was like, she was telling me, you know, how she felt like the fact that like bodily we are so different, no, and there's no standard that we can apply to, because like she was taking like the example of Chilean women. They are a bit more like she was saying, like we are a bit more like big in our shoulders, and then like it goes like a triangle. And she was like this was a very it was very challenging for me, because I would never have that curvy, how is it, at pear,
Hourglass, yes. That's
hourglass
yeah.
body shape, because I'm just like, I'm not made like these, like. And she was like complaining a lot about those body standards, and also like, because she's in Italy, and she was like, I really like struggle finding mm, like dresses or stuff, because it's first of all, I don't feel like I would fit. I don't think like this dress, it's made like for me, like to fit on my body shape. And it's like, this is so wrong, right? Because like we are trying to fit in something that like we would never be able to fit in. And like,
Mm-hmm.
for much that you can have like a personal acceptance of how your body looks, um, and so on, like you would ever always face actually something that is not actually like made for you, and it's like just like in your face, no, every day, like day by day, like you have this continue conflict about what you feel like for yourself, for your body, for the way you are made, and what society is trying to propose, well, impose, I would say, um to you, no. So it's something like, and like in that moment, like I was thinking like, yeah, I cannot really understand actually what she says, because I am a bit more like this. I don't have like that large shoulders, or like, like I was mm, I have like a body shape that is not that hard to fit in some dresses. So it's like, I don't know how that feels, no? Like to go somewhere, and it's like you always have like on your face, like you have to face something that is not applying to your own reality.
Exactly, yeah. And how it's like, doesn't really matter in what kind of body you are in, it's not going to fit the beauty standard to begin with, because the beauty standard is just so rigid and it's created that it's unobtainable. And that's why we want to get it more, and we want to strive for it when it's something that you cannot get at the end of the day. And then it's also a question of who defines it, how, and who defines it, and how is it defined. And I think in the poem as well, it's so refreshing it's from, like you said, 1978, and it's still super applicable in the sense of that it's still the case that we put so much focus on appearances, when beauty has so little to do with appearance, and it has so much more to do with your humanity and character and what you are as a person. And it doesn't really have anything to do with if you fit in the size S, M, L, XL, or whatever size you fit in, but it's more like, how do you carry yourself, and what makes you feel that I'm proud of myself, and that kind of stuff. So, and yeah, it's something that keeps on being so much still focused of like, how do you look like, how do you fit into this society based on your body shape, your skin color, your gender, all of these things. So we should somehow be able to pass that and be like, okay, well, appearance has very little to do, but let's talk about what makes you happy, what makes you confident, what makes you have dignity, all these things. And yeah, but it's something that's still very applicable and makes a lot of sense. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think that there is a difference between appearance and the way that you present yourself to society. the way that you present yourself to society, the clothes that you wear should reflect and should make you feel comfortable and have this confidence that she describes should be a reflection and not a standard that you should aspire to. It should say something about you. It should express who you are and not make in not make makes not making you try to be something that you are not. So I think that it's this difference. I think the image that occurs to me, it's like we do all this work about self acceptance of our bodies and stuff like that, and we are like confident, but the moment that we step forward from our house, we are like bombarded by news, uh, marketing, all these kinds of different media that says all through the day that you do not fit in these standards. So I think like it's a ongoing battle that we have to do, and an ongoing work that we have to make. So I think that the important thing that from poets like Maya Angelou and other great writers is that they can give us this like energy or this safe space to for us to be okay. I'm like this. I don't look like everyone else, and I do not look like these beauty standards, but this writer, she understands me. She understands what it is to be a woman, the essence of being a woman. So I think that reading stuff like this, poems like this, works like this, like it's a kind of medicine for us. So yeah, we should do it more often.
Yeah, for sure. And I also feel like even though she talks about this phenomenal woman, and there is also this kind of like a play a little bit of saying like even the men and the women, they all want to know my secret, and they all fall to their knees when they see me and stuff because of my confidence. I still think that it's also something that could be very helpful also for the youth to see also, and have not only us phenomenal women reading it, but also the phenomenal youth and stuff also saying like, hey, beauty is so much more than your appearance, and you can read this and understand and also feel empowered to see yourself that way or through that lens as well. So yeah, I agree also.
Yes, it's also nice, no? The fact that you don't feel alone, no, in this ongoing battle that you have every day. Because, like, you might think that it's all about you, no? You like thinking or like trying to empower this acceptance, or like you having to face, no, the struggles of the what society wants, and how you are not fitting in it. But like reading like a poem like this, like you also understand that you are actually not alone. You've been reminded of the fact that you are actually not alone, no? That for like something that you might feel like there are like a lot of other people actually, no, that have the same feel, that are sharing the same feeling. And the fact of also, no, like of self acceptance, like can actually like give you like those other lens, like through which like you can face the reality of the facts. And it's like sometimes like it can also happen like a way like you would just like go on the street and say like, "Yeah, you know what, like I will never buy that dress, but that's not important, you know, like I would find like something that would fit me." And it's like this is like the turning point, no, that also it's nice to observe when it comes, no, because that in that way it's like very it's very like reliable, like you are relying on yourself in that moment. And that, like, it's also through poems like these, or through like reading, or like having like thinking with criticism, no, like, about stuff, about reality, about what society is our society is approaching us, that is like you can actually have a different, like you can put a different lens on viewings. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And to kind of, to, like you said, like put another lens to it and see that maybe it's also that you don't have to fit it, and it's not something that should be, or maybe status quo wants to keep it as such, and have also insecurities in women, for example, not fitting that mold because it keeps them consuming and being part of the fitted mold and stuff. But yeah, to kind of see that maybe it's something that you shouldn't even try to fit in, and have other boxes that are more important to fit in, like what is making you passionate, for example, that gives you more than that clothes, maybe. But yeah, super powerful, and still very, very temporal, like was said already before as well.
Yes, I agree. And I have to say, like, I have nothing to comment on anymore. Like, I agree. And yes, would you like to add something on the poem, or on the? No,
No.
that's all.
Yeah.
So, if you want, we can stop it here. And I really, really thank you so much for this beautiful discussion that we had, and the sharing. And we will see each other soon with another book club.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Pink Talks. Before we go, show some love for our favorite podcast by leaving us a comment and subscribe to the channel. We are Young Educators, a non-profit organization working on human rights, gender equality, and active citizenship. And this podcast was created with the support of our team: Ana Catarina Caldeira,
Laura Staffia,
Deborah Capoccia,